If you knew morning wood, then you know why I feel blue. Without morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Pretty, 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 pretty morning wood. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you and I need you, morning wood. I love you, morning wood, with a love so rare and true. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Well, I love you, I want you, morning wood.
Rise and shine. Happy Devil's Sunday. This is The Morning Woo. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. As we are at 106 days straight of the Morning Woo. Looking at the YouTube Live right now. Seeing some folks filing in. Status quo is not good enough. That's what I say. Hello to Pod Legend Max. Max, drive home safely, buddy. If Fitzgerald is still here after the season, then ownership really doesn't care at all, says Vecna Fitzgerald Lad. Nick from the UK says, afternoon all. Happy Devil's Sunday to you, Maria. He says it's 4:13 p.m. in the UK. He's using military time, Nick Lovell of the UK. Happy Devil's Sunday to you, Durango Steve. Metalander, happy Devil's Sunday. Max is dealing with the dumb people in Connecticut. Driving. NY Davy says, morning Sam, NJD, 2 points from the bottom of the conference, only 7 points from a playoff spot. Metalander says ownership only cares about money. The sentiment, exactly. Last night, Devils losing to the Carolina Hurricanes at home 4-1. The same score that the Devils lost to the Hurricanes opening day of the 2025-26 NHL season. So that shouldn't surprise you. Tom Fitzgerald saying in his impromptu press conference last week, saying, we finally got our guys back. I just can't wait to see what they can do. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you, Tom, that it's the same old Devils. Same old crap. Shoddy goaltending. Jacob Markstrom ought to be ashamed of himself. Luke Hughes turning over the puck, which led to the 1-0 Carolina lead last night. Jacob Markstrom not square to the puck. I mean, at that point, he had been playing pretty well, but you still got to make that save. Luke Hughes passing the puck up the middle for no reason at all. Should have carried it up along the boards and then dumped it in after he crossed the red line. But no, he decided to turn over the puck and not get back. Not get back in time. Leading to that goal. Inexcusable on Luke Hughes. Second goal, another softie, led up by Jacob Markstrom. Team deflated. Team not taking advantage of the early power plays in the first period. They needed to strike first. They did not do that. Changes need to be made now. Let's not wait for the Devils to be in the bottom of the Eastern Conference and then set out. Maybe they'll take a page out of the New York Rangers and send out a stupid letter explaining what they're doing. Oh, we understand you. I feel for you, the fans, says Tom Fitzgerald. I'm sure you do, because everybody wants you out of here at this point. Not very good. It's what Tom Fitzgerald says, not good enough. Well, what are you going to do about it? Surprisingly, Dougie Hamilton, the guy that's supposed to be on the trading block, is your best offensive defenseman at the moment. But goaltending, let's start there. Jacob Markstrom, again, very inconsistent this season. I said it last night on Devils After Dark that you've got a $1.9 million AAV goaltender playing a $6 million goaltender, and your $6 million AAV goaltender is playing like a $1.9 million goaltender. Jake Allen should be starting. He should be starting majority of the games till they can get back into real playoff contention. Go with Jake Allen now. You have no time to not react. The condensed scheduling is exposing the New Jersey Devils right now. Meadowlander says the Canes can always count on defensive errors. They are patient. Oh, yeah. And they're going to get errors out of Luke Hughes every single game. And mistakes are going to happen. Number one, on that first goal, on that play, Luke passed it up the middle in the neutral zone. Big no-no. But what I couldn't stand, and I know he may have gotten held up a little bit, but you got to get back. If that's your mistake, I don't care what your excuses are. You need to back check the heck out of that player getting back. And he got back late. Now that's inexcusable. No wonder he got booed by New Jersey Devils fans. Little excessive, but these kind of plays are unacceptable. And I'm not going to bring up the $9 million. There's more than just $9 million lady type rhetoric. We're talking about basic hockey right now. Max says, one of the most frustrating things is we know the Carolina scouting report. As they do high pressure, we do our fast spin move in the zone, and they run us in a second. Ace says, this team is done, Sam. Complete shame. At least us old-timers have glory years. I genuinely feel bad for newer fans that only know pain and suffering. Yeah. Because if you were born after June 9th, 2003. Which was over 22 years ago, you can legally drink now and drown your sorrows away of this sorry-ass team that hasn't won a cup since. You would need a DVD player to see the last Stanley Cup video. Whereas Ranger fans, they need a VCR. That's how long ago it was. It's not as bad as the New York Rangers, but still. The inaction of the New Jersey Devils brass is very telling where this organization is going. And it's going into the toilet right now. Their focus right now is a new stadium for the Commanders, a renovated or new arena for the Philadelphia 76ers. I forgot what it was. First, they wanted to wipe out Chinatown in Center City, Philadelphia. Then, oh no, you know what? Now that we bought this Commanders team, we can't really do it. It's not really worth our time. So, Philadelphia Flyers, since we're neighbors, you want to get in on, building a new arena? Sure. Then sticking. And Governor Murphy, by the way, was at the game yesterday. I don't know if you knew about that. But $300 million in New Jersey tax subsidies to renovate the Prudential Center, saying that, we've had 1.3 million people went through our doors and the infrastructure is not holding up and blah, 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 blah. What? The helicopter landing on the roof, you didn't reinforce the helipad correctly, that you got to use taxpayers' money to reinforce that. You haven't even cleaned the damn arena. I mean, every time I go to the bathroom, it's disgusting. There's toilet paper all over the place, paper towels all over the place, no paper towels. When you press the button on the sink to wash your hands, only lasts for 1 second because they're too cheap to pay for the water bill. Some tree-hugging, water-saving freaking faucet that they have at the Prudential Center. It sucks. I mean, when I go to other arenas, like Xfinity Mobile Center, or if I go to a stadium like Citi Field, or even MetLife Stadium, when I want to wash my hands, I don't have to press the damn button 15,000 times to get warm water, if any, and then wash my hands. But at Prudential Center, half of the toilets don't even work. They're clogged. Dyke X Hansen says, late for school hair woo. Thank you. The Rock was a mistake. It should have been in Hoboken. I hate to say it. Hindsight's 2020. It should have been in Hoboken. It would have been great. We could see New York City, the city across the river. And every time we beat the New York Rangers, especially in 2012, we could have given them the finger when we went outside. Durango Steve says, preach, Sam. Tell them the whole cold, hard truth. Yeah, in Section 208, Buddy Pete threw up there, 14 years ago after getting really drunk? They still haven't cleaned it. And if you look up high, because they rushed to get the Prudential Center together, I wonder if the renovation plans is going to also include taking out the temporary beams that are still there up on the roof. Pray to God that it doesn't fall down. PDP says Jack Hughes is turning into Capocaco. Well, last night, there were some jokesters in the live chat joking that how, Jack Hughes got checked by the net and fell. And someone joked that Jack tripped over or tripped over a piece of steak, and that's how he cut himself. Seagot says, love going to the Flyers Arena, has the best fan atmosphere, in my opinion. It's not bad. I think the best, probably, in my opinion, is probably Montreal at the Bell Center on any given night, whether the team is good or bad. The Bell Center, they have the best hot dogs. Well, at least in the press box, they have the best hot dogs. You know, they actually grill the buns, and the hot dogs taste great. I heard it was it $1 hot dog night yesterday? I don't remember. I thought somebody sent me a text that they got it. Somebody threw him a hot dog or something. Stanley says, did you see the Commanders' new stadium plans? Must be nice to have an owner like that. Oh, wait. It does look nice. I wish they would change the team name back to the original form. I'm offended by the name Commanders. See, you can be offended over everything. That's my opinion. So I'm offended that they call themselves the Commanders. No one's going to command me. Ho, 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 ho. You sound really tough, even though your team sucks. The cheesesteaks are the best at the Flyers, of course. Well, I'll tell you, the food is much better at Xfinity Mobile Center. I can tell you that. The Islanders, after going to that trip, the only thing that I'd say, now I didn't try the food, but everybody I talked to, like, you looked at the food that the Islanders are putting out in their new arena called the UBS Arena. It looked fantastic. Like, it looked like real food. But, you know, I get over-fried chicken fingers at Prudential Center. Sometimes the fries suck. Like, how do you screw up the fries? Like, do you change the oil when you fry them? Maria, better to tear down and build a new one. Any renovation will be subpar. I'm assuming you're talking about the Prudential Center. Max says, I caught a hot dog when Woo Crew tossed them in the crowd, one-handed grab. Oh, okay, it was you, Max. Forgot. How was the hot dog, by the way? I remember the first on opening day of the arena. Not the Bon Jovi concert, but the first game against Ottawa in 2007 when they opened up the Prudential Center. I got food poisoning that day. Because I ate the chicken fingers. I think it was half raw and didn't realize it until it was too late. And I was throwing up for 2 days afterwards. I also got food poisoning from the Taylor ham and egg. The egg was green. So did Beer Baron. You know that infamous story a couple of years ago. But anyway, we're getting totally off topic here. But changes need to be made. Jacob Markstrom should not be starting anymore as the 1A. I don't even consider him a 1B. It should be number 1, Jake Allen, for the rest of the season, and your backup goaltender, Jacob Markstrom. That's how I would, if I was Sheldon Keefe, I would have the balls to sit Markey out. Be like, look, we can't wait for you to find your game, and you can't be letting softies in. It demoralizes the team. So once the Devils were down 2-0, you knew it was over. Okay, they made it 2-1. That's nice. That's a nice story. Just like Tommy DeVito winning a few games to ruin the Giants draft. That's a nice story. You know, hometown kid eating mommy's chicken cutlets. That's a nice story. You know, Devils making it 2-1. Timo Meier power play goal. That's a nice story. And then Carolina just finished them off 4-1. And Tom, you're waiting for, now everybody's healthy. You're waiting for everybody to see what they can do. By the way, I blame Tom. Notice that Tom is not even in the chat room right now. He wanted me to wear the Plot jersey. It was the first time in my life I wore that god-awful jersey. And first off, I guess I'm a fat guy in a little jersey. Felt tight. It was a 54 that I was wearing, too. Do I have to be? Am I a 56? But it was a 54. It felt tight. I was uncomfortable the entire game. I was even eating healthy food while I was at the game. I went to the healthy food bar, grab something to eat. I actually drank water, thinking like if I overstuffed my stuff with this crap arena food that I would just like explode in that tight fitting jersey. I guess I'm fat, but like I told you yesterday, I did lose some weight, so maybe I'm that fat. I don't know. But getting back to the game, Robert Irons says we could ride the goaltending, but Bratt, Jack, Timo, Nico need to be held accountable for the worst 5-on-5 scoring offense for the last year. Totally agree. The reason why I'm harping on the goaltending is that's where you start first. But the 5-on-5, if you want to get 5-on-5 scoring, you got to get the defense involved in the offense. I think maybe it's time for the defense to start taking more risks. I believe Jake Allen can make the timely saves when needed. If the puck goes back, odd man rush the other way, because that tends to happen with his team, that nobody gets back in time like Luke Hughes on that first goal. Look at the replay. I'm not kidding around. Like, where the hell are you, Luke? That's your man. Tie him up. Robert Isaac said letting in 2 goals is deflating because this team has 0 pushback to score 3. Totally correct. Totally correct. Just, they got no fight. It's unbelievable. They bring in all these guys from other teams like Brett Pesce, Brendan Dillon. They all get indoctrinated of the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment of playing, wussy hockey. Everybody has to be so nice to each other. So nice. We don't want any dickheads on this team, says Tom Fitzgerald. Ryan says bring Stolars back home. Meeting the goaltender. Dubzilla says they need fighters and coaching needs to encourage it. There's nothing exciting about this team. Honestly, there's nothing exciting about this New Jersey Devils hockey team. On paper, they may look exciting. The analytics, when they do their scouting combine and all this kind of crap, and, maybe the analytics look good. I don't know. But nothing excites me about this New Jersey Devils. Nothing. Wimpy, Stolars was born in Edison. I think he was from Middletown, I don't remember. I met him one time. I actually have his phone number, believe it or not. I don't know if he still has that same number, but weak hockey is for losers, as is analytics. Again, if you added beefalytics to the analytics, you can never measure a player's heart and determination. That's what I say. And offensively, the Devils, again, like Jack Hughes, like he falls down all the time. He looks like a child out there on the ice. He just bounces off people. I know his conditioning has been better, other than that freak accident, so far he's been healthy. So far. Stanley says, for the old timers, can you imagine a player like Sebastian Aho completely owning your entire squad? It's pitiful. Yeah, it is pitiful because somebody, again, I don't know why nobody puts this guy on his ass. I mean, there were a couple skirmishes, let's call them skirmishes yesterday, pushing back and forth. And you felt the energy, to the Devils' credit, but the energy then dissipated. You didn't take anything out of it. Steve Engel says someone said that one of the Canes players during the first intermission that they knew how to play the Devils. Well, I don't need to hear an intermission interview to see that. I mean, Rod Brindamore, the way he played, his team emulates the way he had played in the NHL. And basically, Rod Brindamore never took any shortcuts as a player in the National Hockey League. Rod Brindamore always played with an edge that his shift may be his last shift. That's the way he played. That's the kind of guy he is. Intensity. Who's going to be Mr. Intensity on this Devils roster? Seems like everybody's stoned. Everyone's just like, another loss, another day, but I'm angry, but oh well. Like, so nonchalant about it. Crap, I want to hear stories of Nico Hischier throwing the table around. Like with Tom Fitzgerald, they emulate Tom Fitzgerald. And, back in the day, you would hear legendary stories of Lou Lamoriello throwing jelly on the wall after a loss, or Robbie Ftorek going on a tirade against his team, throwing the garbage cans around after they lost to the Flyers in that Game 4 against the Eastern Conference Finals, just throwing crap around after blowing a 2-0 lead in the series, which the Devils eventually, that was the turning point where the Devils beat the Flyers and then went out to win the Stanley Cup. Robbie Ftorek throwing the bench on the ice, almost missing Brian Rafalski's head. I want to see heart. Or Lou Lamoriello telling Vladimir Balakov, hey, you're going to go skiing? Oh, good. I need some cap space. You're retired now, buddy. Sorry. Oh, and he did this probably over the phone because Lou needed the cap space, I think, to get Patrick Elias back in the lineup after he was suffering from, Hep A? Did he have hepatitis A or B or C? I forgot which one it was. I think he ate some bad salad out in Europe during the lockout. The lockout, that 1-year lockout, affected the Devils like nothing. Scott Stevens eventually retired. Scott Niedermayer moved on. Patrick Elias was getting hepatitis. And somehow they still made the playoffs and swept the New York Rangers in that first round. That's what I call bulldogging through it. Stanley says Devils know that they're not going to make the playoffs, so they're just getting their annual flogging from the Canes during the regular season. Yeah, part of me thinks that a lot of these guys are just, playing right now just to get some conditioning in before the Olympics. Devils sending, 8, 9 players overseas to Milan I want to actually see them actually play with some heart. Let's see how well they play for their country. Let's compare their play for their country versus their team. Very interested to be scouting that, as we'll be covering the Olympics during the Olympic break here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Stevens leveling opponents. But I'm so sick of it. Those that lived the 80s and then had to live through the 90s and 2000s, it was one of the greatest times seeing a team come to New Jersey and had to really fight its way as a fan base to make its mark. The newer generation right now have no idea what it was like back in the 80s to being a New Jersey Devils fan. Like I said, at my school, it was for every Devils fan, there was probably 19 Rangers fans, because our parents were too cheap to get premium cable channels, sports channel. Yeah, Kovacevic, Svechnikov, he totally dove there, by the way. Big flopper. I think he was learning from Marty Natchez when he was with Carolina. The acting. The drama queens. Yeah, I mean, Rod Brindamore acted like that, too. He was kind of a little bit a drama queen, trying to draw penalties. But I don't blame him. You give it everything you got. See, gods, I don't think Fitch should even trade anyone now. Just do it in the offseason if he's still around. He's lost the value he'll get in these players, and I know he's going to panic for a vet. Yeah, the changes I want are really benching players and bringing some guys from the AHL. I don't care how bad they are. I want to humiliate some of these players that are not earning their pay. Tough love. That's what I say. Yeah, there were Penguins fans back in the late 80s and early 90s because of Mario Lemieux. And then when Yager came on, I have one of my best friends grew up in New Jersey. He's actually a Penguins fan. I actually got two of them. Because of Mario and Yager. I mean, those Pittsburgh Penguins teams, Ron Francis, Rick Tocchet, Mark Recchi, Yager, Lemieux, Ken Reggett, or Tom Barrasso, and then Moose Hedberg as well. Some great, great teams. Darius Kasparaitis, remember him on the Penguins? Cheap artist. Cheap shot artist. But yeah, the beef I have with the Penguins is how they got Lemieux, where they tanked, and how they got Crosby, where there's no video footage, there's no record of this lottery drawn. Robert Isaac says, I agree, Stanley. I think Jack was unimpressive in Four Nations, and I am expecting 0 out of him in the Olympics. Well, maybe that's why they have him going on the Today Show to promote that Team USA. Wimpy says, you win the offensive stars, you transcend as a franchise more. If we could only win with the Hughes brothers. Oh. When you win in the National Hockey League, you have to pay a big price. Are the Hughes brothers willing to pay that price? All right, well, that's all for now here on the Morning Woo. We're going to have the Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition, 9 p.m. Eastern. myself, Beer Baron, and Scotty will be running the Sunday podcast. And yeah. And it's going to be a fun week with this team out in Western Canada doing Devils After Dark, and a couple hours later, the Morning Woo. I got some sleep this weekend, and I'm not going to have sleep for the next week. Anyway. All right, well, let's do the ceremonial sip. Hold up your drinks, your beverages. I'm drinking some tea and honey right now. It's snowing outside. It's quite icy. But I salute to those Devils fans that made it out to last night's game through the bad weather and back. There was black ice on the way back home. So careful driving, everybody. I salute you, the Devils fans, with the ceremonial sip. Till next time, this is the Morning Woo. Let's go, Devils.
Morning woo, morning woo. Pretty, 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 pretty morning woo. Oh, morning, my morning woo. Oh, well, I love you, woo, and I need you. Morning woo. I love you more.